Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Amazon's new film, Bliss. And I got an early screening of this, starring Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek, and directed by Mike Cahill, who has some experience making some ambitious kinds of science fiction and mind-bending type films, and brings that to this film, where Owen Wilson plays a man named Greg, who's recently divorced. We open up the film, he's in his office trying to avoid the noise, the just craziness of this office environment behind his door, and trying to avoid answering his phone and doing all these doodles of daydreams and this woman that he keeps seeing. And what Cahill does so great at the beginning of this film is building up that anxiety. You can tell that Greg, with some strong, solid work by Owen Wilson, is put on edge by all this chaos around him. And it's anxiety, it's turning, it's tension building, and you can feel it in the air. He keeps getting angrier and angrier phone calls from the receptionist of his boss. He goes in, gets fired. And something happens by accident, and he gets the hell out of there. And then all of a sudden, he finds this woman he's been daydreaming about, played by Salma Hayek, Isabel, who's basically more or less just a ball of chaos, who takes him on this crazy whirlwind adventure of melding reality. Is this really life that he's living? And he gets put on these drugs, and you're going through him living and her in this like scenic place and doing all these crazy things throughout this film, and you're always wondering what's actually going on. Is he really in a simulation? Is this the Matrix? Or is he dealing with some drugs? And I feel like as the film keeps going on, it becomes more chaotic, harder to connect with, and sloppier and messier. And things just kind of fall apart until you get up to the point where you're at the end and you really know what this film's about. You've reached the point where you're just like, no crap, this is about drug addiction. And it gets to that point, and one thing I have to say is Salma Hayek does such a fantastic job with this frenetic energy in this film, and also portraying somebody who's straight tweaking on drugs. And I've never done drugs. Never experienced that before of any kind. But she seems like that's exactly how you would be on this drug, this paranoia, and that keeps building. And you come to this climax of this film, and it does have that payoff a little bluntly that, hey, this is what's really going on here. Greg's not in a great place. And you have these moments, and throughout the film, you have his daughter and his son. His daughter really wanting to help him. His son having come to grips with, do I really want to help my father? Because they have baggage. But those threads never feel like they really pay off in a meaningful way. Even up to the climax of the film, where it's just like you expect this big emotional moment and just kind of like thrown to the side. And what does help this messy film is that Mike Cahill, the writer and director, does bring some really strong technical expertise. There's some great work with the camera. There's great tension building. This does have quite the tone and frenetic energy about it. It just feels like he's letting it whip so much that it loses control after a while. And in the end, I feel like Bliss is quite entertaining for the beginning parts of this film when there's still a lot of mystery going on, and I feel like it just kind of spirals. It's like, for a while you're doing this crazy thing and you're doing it well, and then you just kind of lose handle on it. And as the film went on, I got less and less interested. So it had a lot of potential, but by the end, I feel like, yeah, this is like a 100-minute stream that you can watch on Amazon Prime, and it's pretty disposable. You'll probably get some entertainment out of it, but in the end, I felt like it wasn't satisfying when I got to the end and realized what this movie was really about and what I really experienced. Despite the fact that you can tell Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek were really committed to this film. So in the end, those are my thoughts on Bliss. Let me know what you think. and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.